Hi, my name is Remco Dekkinga. I'm working at Linkit as a Director OutSystems, and my history with OutSystems goes back for 15 years. I've seen several projects being delivered with OutSystems tooling, and one of the things that they have all in common is the lack of testing, or at least the lack of a good testing tool. And I want to introduce you to one of those tools that can work really well with OutSystems, which is called LeapWork. So I'd like to introduce you into LeapWork and how you can test correctly OutSystems applications with it. Well, to start, just a little bit about myself. My name is Remco Dekkinga. I'm a loving husband and the father of 3 little rascals. Since we work at home, I do see them quite often, and it's fun to see them grow up. My professional career started in 2002. I finished my university degree and I started at Topdesk as a Visual Fox Pro developer. And after having seen Visual Fox Pro developing, which was a system that wasn't used that often, and I wanted to change a career, I was looking for something new, something innovative, and I came across OutSystems at Van der Meijden. So at the Van der Meijden group, I started working with OutSystems in 2006, and after working for Van der Meijden for 8-9 years, I switched to Vopak, where they were also in need of some quality regarding OutSystems, and there I set up a OutSystems team. And after delivering the OutSystems team, I started with Linkit. While working at Linkit, in the same year I joined Linkit, I also became an MVP of OutSystems because of the history I have with OutSystems and the knowledge I have about OutSystems. They granted me that title. Until now I still have the title, which I'm very proud of. And still working at Linkit, enjoying my life at Linkit, and helping a lot of different clients to keep their quality high. So today I'm going to explain you a little bit about LeapWork. To start with LeapWork, it's a no-code testing tool and RPA tool, so repetitive process automation. It has 3 pillars. The first one is that it is a no-code tool, so which means it works exactly the same way as OutSystems. You can just drag drop your flows into a canvas and work from there. It also has the same as OutSystems, which means it has no boundaries. So where with OutSystems you can extend your flows with C#, you can do the same at LeapWork with Java. It also has a lot of automation in it, so you can record your flows. You can even ask your business users to create the test flows that you need, to create your RPA flows that you need, which solves a lot of hassle on getting to know the correct business usage of your application, because the business creates the flows for you. You know exactly what they want and how they want it, which helps on the automation part. And the last part is the cost, because you don't need expensive resources to create the flows, but you can just use anybody from your business. It will save you a lot of money and keeps the cost low. So to start, I'm going to show you how to create your first flow within LeapWork. First I'm going to show you in the browser how it works. So I have the OutTracker application, which is one of the default demo applications from OutSystems. I'm going to select default user, which is Anthony Hanks. And Anthony Hanks wants to create a new request, so he clicks here. He fills in his subject, which would be LeapWork test. It will be a normal one. You might have a description. This is how to build your first LeapWork test. And then you can submit the request, and on submitting you see here that a request has been received. You can go back to my requests, and there you will see that it is on top. I'm gonna rebuild this flow within our system, within LeapWork. And to do that, I am going to restart OutSystems or LeapWork, but first I'm going to manage my data. LeapWork test, and then OutTracker, and then it's the create request. I'm going to start this one. You see here start. To start, you can decide to close all windows or to minimize all windows. I'm going to start with minimizing all windows to make sure that the only screen that will be open will be the browser. So all screens are minimized. Then I'm going to start the browser. So let's find the browser. Start web browser. I have the URL already copied, so I only have to paste it here. I will start Chrome. You can even choose to start Edge, Firefox, or the legacy Edge or Internet Explorer. I will just stay with Chrome. That will be a little bit easier. And after this, I'm going to start the recorder. There it is. So it will just start my browser. There it goes. It will start the URL. We'll go to the login page, and here what I can do, you already see that my mouse changed. I want to click Anthony Hanks, and the system is going to ask me what I want to do next. There it is. I want to click this web element with my left mouse button, so I will apply. Then the system will load the next screen. Here it comes. And here you can see that every element can be selected. I want to click this button with new request. So I'm going to click this one. I want to click this element with my left mouse button. And I get my new screen. Here I want to type specific web text, which would be my LeapWork demo. Apply. And I would like to type some text here. And I apply this again. You see it shows up. And I would like to click the button to submit the request. I'm clicking the element and I click apply. And here my request has been created. And now I want to know that the request has been sent. I want to get the web text because I want to know that this text has actually been created. And then I would like to go back to my requests. I click the element and I click apply. And here I would like to see that this text is LeapWork demo. So I get this web text and I apply again. And then I would like to say that I can close the recording. What you will see now is that all the flow elements that have been recorded are created next to each other. And I can even rerun my test to see that it works. But first of all, I want to just drag some elements here. You can even zoom in and zoom out to make things more clear. And this way everything will fit on one screen. And this is how easy it is to build your first test case in OutSystems, or in LeapWork based on OutSystems. And this concludes my first showcase. So in the first I showed you how easy it is to use a recorder, and now I'm going to show you how easy it is to change the identifier to find a specific web element. So automatically LeapWork selects one way to identify a web element, and that is by looking at the ancestor or a parent, which are two options here, and it looks at itself, so the element that you want to be able to click, and it will look at the class or the text or the attribute, the XPath or another identifier, and it already comes up with different options that it finds the easiest way to find the right web element. And if you can't find the right one in this list, there's another option, which is the web tree, and with the web tree you can capture the screen, you can select the element, and at that moment LeapWork is loading the whole DOM tree, and it will show you the whole DOM tree here, and based on that you can create your own element. For instance, if you want to have the login namespace, you see it's a div, and that div has a class which is contains. Just to make sure it's clear, we start new, we say it's the class name equals or contains, and then login name, so that at least one of the class names is the login name. And then for itself, the element that we want to click, it's we want to know that it's a div, and we don't want to look at the class. We can say class contains, but we want to have the style. So we're going to select the attribute, and the attribute needs to be a style attribute, and that one needs to contain the cursor pointer. So let's do that here. It contains a cursor pointer, so we select this one to make sure that we don't make any typos, and we drop it there. And then we want to know that the text doesn't start with, but that the text contains Anthony Hanks. And this way you can even validate if it works. So let's save it. Now it goes there. We need to go back. There we are. Go back to LeapWork. And here we're going to look at the element. And here we have our element, and we can validate, and there you see, turns up, which means it can find the element. And if you go back to LeapWork, there you see that the elements that we have, the ancestor and self, are green, which is very good. So this means it works as expected. There it finds green and green, which means that it finds the right element, and it's more straightforward to read. So we can save this one. And that will change the way we now have this element being selected. And as you can see, we are not using the identifier, and we can base it on class names, on attributes, on text, which means that all different combinations of standard elements in your OutSystems environment can be used to identify an element. And we can do the same for all the other steps here. And when we have done that, it will look something similar to this flow, where we also have everything in place. And this concludes our second demo. So now I'm gonna record an application, and I'm gonna include the not only the browser but also Windows. So what I'm gonna do for this LeapWork demo that we have created, I'm going to recreate a new demo, and I'm going to use this browse to upload to open up Windows, to click my documents. So let's see where they are. Let's go all the way to the top. There we have images. I'm going to click images, and I'm going to select the flower as an attachment. So first of all, we're gonna recreate this flow. You see here the flow, and from this flow I'm going to run it again. As you can see, I removed the connection from the text area to the submit button. So let's run it. And when it runs, it will stop after filling in the text area, which helps us to get a start point for our next recording session. So everything is filled in up to there, and it's closed. And there you can see, you can edit it, and from there we can start the recorder again. So the recording has started. Let's click the browse to upload, and then we click the web element. We click apply. That will open up the Windows file explorer. There we click on pictures. We again click select UI element. No, I mean click UI element. Selecting it doesn't click it. So, and then the Chrysanthemum, we also gonna click the UI element, which makes sure that it is there in the file name, and we click open. It's the button. So let's click it, and then click UI element. This will close the Windows Explorer, and it will add the element to our web screen. And we can stop the recording session here. And by doing that, we will see that all those steps that we just recorded are added to the flow. And from there, we can just connect the last step to the submit button. And this way, we have our flow, including browser and Windows. And there, if you look further down there, you also see that let's zoom in a little bit, that this is a UI window and not a browser window. And as you can see, all of them are connected to each other. Let's run it again. Let's see what happens. So everything is closed down. The browser will start. It logs in automatically, directly as the element is there. We click next, LeapWork demo, the text, and then we're gonna browse to upload. We open up the pictures, we select the picture, click open, the picture is there, and we click next. And you see that the flow has passed successfully. The last demonstration, I'm going to show you that when you change a button in OutSystems, and all of you know how to do this, I will just go there and I will just change one of the buttons. I'm going to change the location and the background color, which are most common use cases when you have a screen that you want to test. So here we have the screen details. So we have the submit request button, which is here, and I want to change this button. So this button, I'm going to change the style really here. I'm going to make it a nice red button. And that means that the submit request is now a nice red button, and instead of here, I want to have the submit request below. So I'm going to move this button down, and I'm going to place it here at the bottom. And I'm going to publish it. And first I'm going to show you that this screen is actually has changed and is on a different place. So it has been published. I'm logging in as Anthony Hanks. I'm going to say new request. And you see here that the submit request is below the upload attachment. And now I'm going to show you that it still works in LeapWork without changing anything in my script. We have the submit request button here. It still thinks it's a blue button, so I'm going to click run. It will close my browser and it will start from scratch. So we'll open up the new browser. It will go to the login screen. From the login screen it will click Anthony Hanks, it will click new request, it will fill in the request subject, and the demo, you see here already that the submit request has been clicked, and even though I changed the screen, the flow is still passed and there's no issues with this new screen button. Thank you for watching this demo. This was the last item I wanted to show you.